I'm officially worried about Sunday's game against United. There's two teams in the Premier League over the last couple of seasons where Villa just seem to not be able to get it done. It's Crystal Palace and also Man United. In today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Man United, the areas where I'm a bit worried about them, and then also got some things to get off my chest about one of my favourite football podcasts out there. Stay tuned.
May stop talking about Aston Villa.
So yeah, Aston Villa play Manchester United this Sunday, 4:30 kickoff. The only game on Sunday. Many eyes will be on the game, especially mine and my son. For those who don't know, my son, 9 years old, he's a United fan. I don't know how that happened. Well, I do know how it happened, but he's a United fan. I'm a Villa fan. I can't afford for us to lose this game because he'll be chirping for a long, long time. He speaks to me all the time and says how you guys are never able to beat us, you know. And every time we've played United over the last few years, yeah, we've been in good form and they've been in bad form, and they've still been able to get some form of result against us. I think it was 2 seasons ago. We played them in December, we played them in January, and both times we played our worst against them. Last year, the end of last season, the final game of the season, they scuppered our chances of getting into the Champions League. Yes, there was the VAR issue, but ultimately we went to Old Trafford, had a nightmare. Martinez got sent off. He just wasn't the one. They seemed to be a bogey team for us. And as I said just about a minute ago, usually we buck up on United when things are in disarray on their part, especially in the last few years, but they still seem to get a good result against us. However, this time round, we're kind of coming up against the United team that are starting to finally get their act together. Yes, they had a 4-4 draw at home to Bournemouth the other day. However, they seem to be getting their act together in terms of understanding the system that Amorim wants them to play. And actually, even Amorim is starting to now shift his formation a little bit. He's not as stubborn to the 3 at the back style, the wing back style that's been there. To be honest, there are some things that we might be able to look forward to with some of their players missing to AFCON, and seemingly we don't have any that are missing to AFCON. And yes, they're coming to Villa Park, which is a fortress this season. But United seem to have one up against us. However, if there is one time for us as a team, as an organisation, as a club, to state our intention on this title for the Premier League, I know many people are writing us off. I know many people are saying that we're not going to sustain it. Many are saying it's too early. And yeah, in some respects, I would prefer to be talking about this in February. But if we're able to get a win against United this week, then we are in December 4 for 4. And there's only 2 more games in December that we're more than capable of winning. Chelsea and Arsenal. And if we leave this year on a win streak, as we have been, they have to take us seriously. But United are starting to get their act together. We're starting to see their shape formulate a bit better, find a little bit more cohesion in their attack. You know, Bruno has seemingly started to acclimatise to the slightly deeper role, but also he's been given freedom to fly forward, and Casemiro kind of just sitting as a singular 6. So we're seeing United create this thing where they've got an overload of like 5 players high up in the opposition third when they get a chance to, and ultimately we can't deny the quality that they have. They have a lot of quality in their team. So this is a game for Aston Villa to come out with a win. I don't want to see us cower and go into like a low block. I want us to go at them. I want us to go at them the same way we went at Arsenal, the same way we were resilient and persistent against City, because we have the quality in our team. This is just a statement of intent from a Villa fan who believes that this season could be different for us. I'm not thinking about a title right now, but a few more wins in this period of time would actually cement us in that top 4. So we go into the second half of the season a little bit more with a little bit more of a cushion, go into the January transfer window with intent. We can show players that probably wouldn't have come to us before and say, look where we're sitting in the table. Look at the gap that we have on the rest of the league. Look how far we are. We're closer to the top of the table than we are to 4th place. Because that's the truth right now. We're 5 points adrift of 4th. We're 3 points behind 1st. And that is what I want us to adopt. That mentality of that we're not here as imposters. We're not here as people just filling a void. We're here to stay. And this brings me on to the second part of what I want to talk about. There's a podcast that I really like and I follow pretty avidly, Filthy Fellas podcast. And the other day they posted a video and they were talking about Aston Villa. And this is why representation is important, right? Because you got a room full of Londoners, fair enough. Londoners that half of them don't support their local team. KG, Menace, Margs, Loons, yeah? And they're talking about Aston Villa like we're just some wastemen. Talking about Aston Villa as if we're not going to be able to sustain this thing. We've got Man United fans in there who have got a team that have fallen from mad heights talking crazy about us. And you know what? The joke is, yes, they can talk about how they've played against us in individual games, but over the last however many seasons, Aston Villa have outperformed Man United overall. You've got Man United fans on this show brazenly talking like, say, their team is in any European competition this year, like their team didn't finish in the bottom half of the table. And you know what? You see, when I see things like this, I'd love them get to hear a real Villa fan speak. A real Brummie speak on behalf of the team. Let them know what it's like to support a local team. Let them know what it's like to sit in a room with someone that actually backs the team that's down the road from them. You get me? I hope, that we go 6 for 6. I said it in a TikTok. I said it in a YouTube short 3 weeks ago. At the beginning of December, I said, I feel Aston Villa can go 6 for 6. Because when we go 6 for 6, because I think it can happen, if we beat United on Sunday, I believe Villa will go 6 for 6. And when we go 6 for 6, and we're sitting above Arsenal, I'm saying it now, we might be behind City, but it'll be by like a point, I want to see what man are saying then, innit? I want to know what man are saying about unsustainable. Everyone's calling the team unsustainable FC. No, we're not unsustainable. We're a team that know our identity. We're a team that have been forged in the fire. We're a team that have been forced to not be able to make signings because of PSR. And because of that, our players know each other better, even better than they would have if there was loads of changes. We're a team that believe in our manager. We're a team where our manager believes in the team. So even though we may not have the world-renowned names in our squad, we're just as good. And it's showing. Filthy Fellas, respect you, man. Enjoy your pod. But I'm hoping that Villa, Aston Villa, that team from Birmingham, prove you, man, wrong. You know what? I'm looking forward to the next 3 weeks of your show. Because if we go and beat United and beat Chelsea and beat Arsenal back to back to back, every man on that show is going to have to say something. So Menace, KG, Margs, I expect to hear from you next week, innit? Dan, Savage Dan, when we beat Chelsea, I want to hear from you as well. And Lippy, when we go 2 for 2 against Arsenal in the same month, when we come to the Emirates and cause you problems like we have done for the last few seasons, when Ollie Watkins bags his goal against Arsenal at the Emirates, his customary goal, I want to hear from man, innit? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this channel. I'll drop the link to the Filthy Fellas podcast, the one I'm talking about. Give them a follow, give them a listen. It's always good banter when they're talking. But hopefully Villa can prove them wrong in the next few weeks. Peace.